Aircraft carrier. It measures a country. Key indicators of maritime power. There are currently 14 countries in the world. 44 aircraft carriers in service. 8 of these countries can support the transmission of fixed opinions in machine operation. Aircraft carrier in the traditional sense. So where will China's aircraft carriers rank? Let's see. The 10 most powerful aircraft carriers in the world. Long press like to give the director a support. Thank you very much. 10th Aircraft Carrier Kuznetsov. USS Kuznetsov. It is the lead ship of Russia's third-generation aircraft carrier. It was the country's first true aircraft carrier. It is the first ship in the world to have both flight deck and aircraft carrier with a Vietnamese flight deck. It was built on April 1st, 1982. Construction began at the Soviet Nikolaev shipyard. Entered service on January 21st, 1991. It is the country's navy, the latest and only aircraft carrier that cares. It is also the main ship of the country's navy. It now belongs to the country's navy's Northern Fleet. The aircraft carrier is 305 meters in length. Width is 72 meters. Displacement at full load is 67,000 tons. Maximum speed of 30 knots. Can be installed on 50 Su-33 base ships, aircraft, and helicopters. The firepower system carried by this aircraft carrier is also very powerful, using a 12-unit Granite anti-ship missile launcher, equipped with 12 SK at the same time. 4-5 Granite anti-ship missile. From the Kuznetsov aircraft carrier satellite TV to the present, Russia hasn't had it for 30 years. Build a new aircraft carrier. The main reason is the collapse of the former Soviet Union. And not only that, due to various mistakes and engineering accidents. Frequent headlines in major foreign media. The Russian Navy lost face. 9th Shandong ship. Shandong ship. It is the first ship independently designed and built by China. Domestic aircraft carrier. Also the People. The second aircraft carrier commissioned by the Navy. December 17th, 2019. Delivered to the Navy at a military port in Sanya, Hainan. According to public information, Shandong Jianshan is 315 meters long. The building width is about 75 meters. The area of the entire deck, equivalent to 3 standard football pitches. It can carry at least 36 J-15 carrier aircraft. The full load displacement is about 50,000 tons. The Shandong ship is a newly developed aircraft carrier. A large number of new designs are required. The amount of new material engineering is huge. More than 20 very large cruise ships were built, some of works. More than 3,000 cabins. Thousands of parts. Thousands of devices are spread throughout the ship. Many special devices were first developed and installed. Therefore, compared to the continuation of the Liaoning ship, the development cycle of the Shandong ship is more intense. The task is also more difficult. The Shandong ship uses a heavy oil steam boiler. Drive the propeller to sail. However, the Shandong ship has a major drawback. It's a startup. It is understood that starting the entire steam powertrain requires more than 10 hours. This is for combat and emergencies. Obviously unfavorable. 8th Charles de Gaulle Howe aircraft carrier. Charles de Gaulle Howe aircraft carrier. It's a slave, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier belonging to the French Navy. It is the only aircraft carrier of the French Navy in Israel. Officially entered service on May 18th, 2001. When the Gaulle was completed, the flight deck is 264 meters in length, width 64.36 meters. Total area of 12,000 square meters. The hangar can accommodate 20 to 25 aircraft simultaneously. Fixed-wing aircraft parking. Maintenance factories are located around the maintenance hangar. Solid with aircraft parts. De Gaulle How to save money. 2 were used. Triumph set with a new generation of France. Ballistic missiles and submarines. The same nuclear reactor, but it created de Gaulle Ho. Significant performance flaws, underpowered. Total output is only 76,200 horsepower. In maritime, the maximum speed of running with Galileo is only 25 knots. But France insists. This year has the strength of 27 knots. But no matter what happens, this is a record after World War II. New tradition. The lowest speed record for an aircraft carrier. Fortunately, the ship. Powerful performance on the Michi C-13 catapult. Enough to catapult a 22-ton plane into the air. How much can it make up for the lack of speed? HMS Queen Elizabeth VII. Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier. It's the Royal Navy, the largest warship ever built. And for the first time using gas turbines and all-electric drive, will replace the main task of returning money. Can only carry limited number of carrier-based aircraft for the Invincible-class aircraft carrier. Become Britain's future ocean power. The Queen Elizabeth began construction on July 7th, 2009. Entered service on December 7th, 2017. 2020 initial operational capability. The aircraft carrier is 284 meters long, 73 meters wider. Full load displacement 65,000 tons. It can carry more than 40 carrier-based aircraft of various types. Objectively speaking, 60,000-ton Queen-class aircraft carrier. It is the pinnacle of the British Empire 70 years after the war. But as a first-mover empire, the UK is no longer the Megatron of the past. World number one in the 7 seas. Its navy is only maintained at a medium level. The previous light aircraft carriers, such as the Invincible. It shows the twilight of the British Empire, even with the glory of Falklands in 1984. It's just a beautiful afterglow of the setting sun. Although beautiful, but I can only sigh that the sunset is infinitely good. Just helpless at dusk. 6 George Washington. USS George Washington nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. It's the Nimitz class, the 6th ship of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. It was also the 1980s. The tonnage of the world built by the United States. One of the largest aircraft carriers. It is also today's global. One of the most powerful forces in Taiwan. The hull of the aircraft carrier is 332.8 meters long, with 40.8 meters full load displacement, 102,000 tons. Construction began on August 25, 1986. July 4th, 1992. Enlisted in the U.S. Navy's Atlantic Fleet. He is the only ship in the U.S. Navy. Aircraft carriers permanently stationed overseas. His powertrain is a 2-seat A4W and reactor and 4 steam turbines. Propulsion power 260,000 horsepower. Maximum speed 35 knots. Maximum endurance 1 million nautical miles. Built on 80 aircraft. Inside the USS Washington, a large hangar is arranged, mainly used for parking and maintenance aircraft. Hangar diameter and height 8.07 meters. The length is 208.48 meters. The width is 32.92 meters, 76 meters from the top of the keel road. That's the height of a 20-story building. USS Washington owns a variety of radar and detection guidance systems, capable of effectively commanding various weapons. Strengthen your own defense. 5th Stennis. USS Starnes, ranked 7th in the Nimitz family. The construction of the ship began in March 1991. It was officially launched in November 1993. Started service with the U.S. Pacific Fleet in June 1995. USS Starnes. The full purchase fee for the battle group, up to $15 billion, from its inception to its final decommissioning. Total requirements are approximately $33 billion. This does not include the modernization of aircraft carriers, modification and scrapping expenses. Even for the richest man in the world like the United States, it's not a small burden, so it caused quite a controversy. Although controversial, but his strength is still very strong. His full load displaces 102,000 tons, length 317 meters, more than 80 meters high. There are approximately 5,000 members. His total power is up to 260,000 horsepower. Top speed 30 knots. Fuel sustainable for 15 years. Endurance 800,000 to 1 million nautical miles. Self-sustaining for 90 days. He is equipped with the latest catapult. You can take 8 planes to the sky in 1 minute. Equipped with the standard carrier air wing of the U.S. military. There are about 80 in total, but in an emergency, it can carry up to 100 aircraft. 4th Truman Aircraft Carrier. July 25, 1998 morning. U.S. Navy Navk, Naval Base Port 12. Bunting. USS Truman docks only. The whole ship is full of flags. Under the stars and stripes is the president, who is in the spotlight. Platform. The Grand Aircraft Carrier Service ceremony was held here. USS Truman. It took 10 years before it officially entered service. It can be said that it takes 10 years to sharpen a sword. The total length of the ship is 332.8 meters. Flight deck width 76.8 meters. Red water 11.3 meters. Normal displacement 91,487 tons. Filled with 3 months of sea navigation and combat. All the oil used freshwater food. Full load after the goods. Displacement is over 97,000 tons. Known as the Maritime Steel City. The main engine uses 2 nuclear reactors. Speed above 30 knots. You need to change your fuel every 25 years. For groups are available. 2,000 kilowatts generator providing emergency power, allegedly. It generates the same amount of electricity as New York. His catapult is more than 70 meters long. There are 4 swords in total. Can eject 4 aircraft into the air at the same time. 40 aircraft are guaranteed to take off in 60 minutes. Very efficient. 3rd Lee Gunhoe Aircraft Carrier. The USS Reagan was launched in the late 1990s. Built in America, Nimitz-class aircraft carrier number 9. It is the United States that has entered the 21st century. The first aircraft carrier to enter service. He started in 1998 in Newport News, USA. Shipyard construction. 2,000 years into the water. It was officially named on March 4th, 2001. Total length 332.85 meters. The flight deck is 78.34 meters wide. The entire deck area reaches 18,000 square meters. Standard displacement 97,000 tons. 85 fighter jets of various types. Equipped with 2-seat and reactor power systems. Maximum speed over 15 kilograms. 4-seat gay propeller propulsion gauge. Maximum output power 260,000 horsepower. Endurance up to 80 to 1 million nautical miles. The nuclear fuel of the aircraft carrier can be used for its batteries. 20 years of battery life. You only need to change the fuel once. USS Rig. Compared to the previous 8 ships of the same class already in service. More than 1,300 major changes to the design. New construction is more conducive to the takeoff of aircraft. Excellent for all scissors and hulls. Made of high-strength alloy steel. Some parts of the steel plate are up to 63.5 millimeters thick. Can effectively defend against the impact of half-piercing fake bullets. Effectively improve survivability. USS Bush II. The construction of the Bush began in 2003. The naming ceremony was held in 2006. After completing the maritime. At Norfolk Naval Base on January 10th, 2009, held a service ceremony, delivered to the U.S. Navy in mid-March 2009. For decades, has always been a U.S. maritime steel barrier and charge trap. Pioneer of the array. The Bush is different from other Crepe Myrtle in the Nimitz-class ship. Whether it's in the powertrain or the weaponry, have improved to a considerable extent. The total length of the building is 332 meters. It's about 20 stories above the waterline. It can carry nearly 6,000 sailors. In Marines, maximum speed 30 knots. Displacement of more than 100,000 tons. In terms of attack power, it can carry up to 100 aircraft. Cost $6.20 billion. USS Bush. It is the most advanced Nimitz aircraft carrier. Substantial design improvements were made. It also introduced several new technologies. For example, the introduction of a new vacuum marine sanitation system, the new aviation fuel distribution system. These improvements, it will reduce the cost of the aircraft carrier's full sail period. First, USS Ford. The USS Ford is a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. It is the first ship of the Ford-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. It is also the 11th aircraft carrier that the U.S. Navy cares about. He died on July 22, 2017, officially enlisted in the U.S. Navy. The deck of the USS Ford is 332 meters long, 79.1 meters wide, with a deck area of 19,827 square meters. He's the most powerful new generation aircraft carrier today. It's off the coast of Florida. Successfully completed the first ship-wide impact test. Proved to be an aircraft carrier that cannot be exploded by an atomic bomb. His overall procurement costs reached nearly $12.90 billion. Astonishingly high. The Ford is also currently the largest aircraft carrier in the world, with a full load of 101,600 metric tons. Displacement direct. Replaced the previous number 1 Nimitz-class aircraft. The USS Ford uses a host of new technologies. The new design includes a redesigned building island, superstructure, and flight deck layout. Emphasis on stealth power plants is more efficient. It has greater power generation capacity, integrated power system, adopt a new power distribution structure, and the bold design of the hull has been added for future upgrades. The overall combat capability of the aircraft carrier has been greatly improved. These massive aircraft carriers. Did it shock you? Welcome to the bullet comment or comment section. I am the director. Thanks for watching. See you next time.